Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for September's Stationery Stockpile Challenge. This is a challenge that I do in collaboration with Daksina, and I will link our playlist up above. I haven't filmed one of these in a while, and I'm actually posting this in October, so it's a little bit late, but the theme for September was fall or whatever season you're currently in. This year, my journal and memory keeper is in an A6 Hobonichi, so I do have a piece of vellum that I've cut down to A6 size, and I'm going through this Happy Planner Squad, I think it's called, sticker book to find some seasonal stickers to start out with. As usual, I like to start with one larger sticker in the middle and then start filling it in around that. So I'm pulling out some sticker sheets. These are sorted loosely into fall, and I'm also going through my sticker binder. I have a seasonal section, so I will leave that open too. While you see me putting together this dashboard on screen, I'll just take this time to chat a bit with you guys, which I always love. So like I mentioned, I'm filming this voiceover in the first week of October. I did actually film this dashboard in September, but I didn't get it up in time. But the school year has started and it has been very slow. My school board is going through some growing pains, or honestly, maybe it's more like shrinking pains in terms of the population and enrollment and the number of teachers they've hired. So there weren't any contracts that were any I was really interested in to start the year. So I will do daily substitute teaching for now and see what comes up. Last year I got a contract that I really loved that started after Thanksgiving, so I will see if that's an option this year as well, and if not, I do also enjoy daily supply teaching. It's just easier sometimes to know where you'll be and who you'll be with on a day-to-day basis, but there's a lot of flexibility in substitute teaching, and I appreciate that too. As we moved into fall here in Ontario, we had a lot of really gloomy and rainy days to start, which I always expect in November, but in September it was a little bit surprising and disappointing. However, the last week or so we have had gorgeous, gorgeous weather, and I have developed a little routine of taking a cup of tea and my sketchbook outside in the late afternoons, and I will just sit there, enjoy a tea, and really sketch something that I can see. I've tried sketching my pencil sharpener, a car in the driveway, a flower pot, and honestly, it's one of the most mindful practices that I engage in right now. I have tried meditation in the past, and it's definitely a practice for me. That feels like a lot of effort to try and stay in the moment and not run away with my thoughts. But when I'm sketching, it's easier for me to just be in the moment, be moving my hand, looking at the object that I'm drawing, and not think about anything else. So the kind of silence that brings is really, really lovely. And what else have I been up to? Oh, if you've been around here for a while, you'll know that I am a huge baseball fan. I have watched a ton of games this season, and my team, the Toronto Blue Jays, has made it into the playoffs. So they'll be playing a wild card series that starts on Friday here in Toronto. So I am really, really looking forward to that. Fingers crossed it's some really good baseball and I can keep watching well into October. Something else I've been watching and loving is Abbott Elementary. I had heard of it in passing. I'd seen it when I was scrolling on the TV, but it wasn't until I opened up Disney Plus the other day and saw it that I decided to give it a try. Guys, I flew through the first season. This is pretty much exactly what I love in a show. I find it heartwarming and hilarious, and I think there's also some harsh realities in it, especially if you've worked in education. But underlying it all is a feeling of hope and effort and trying, and it just fills me up and makes me laugh, and that is what I want from my content. So if you haven't checked it out, I would recommend it, and I'm really looking forward to starting season 2. I know they've already aired some episodes, so I get to catch up, and I've heard that season 2, I think, is a full 22 episode season, so a lot to look forward to. Speaking of content that I'm enjoying, I am really trying to get back into reading. Growing up, I loved reading. I would read the Sweet Valley High books. Oh man, Sweet Valley High. I went back to like Sweet Valley Middle School, the Babysitters Club, Girl Talk. Does anyone remember Girl Talk? The Boxcar Children, Anne of Green Gables, all those books. I still have them, my old children's favorites. And I would just sit on the couch and read. I would leave my books lying all over the house. My parents hated that, but they loved that I loved reading. And somewhere along the way, reading has started competing with my phone, and a lot of times my phone is winning. My phone provides that instant gratification, and it is also an excellent distraction, especially if my anxiety is high. So most of the time, I default to my phone. But I have so many books that I am excited to read and I want to read, and I've decided to try and be much more intentional about, actually reading them. So what that looks like for me is just setting up a little reading corner. It's just using my desk chair, but I've pulled in a blanket that I keep in a basket beside it. I have another basket with a few of the books that I'm interested in reading, and I have a lamp to kind of cast that nice glow over that area. And I just wanted a space where it felt like I could slow down. It was only for reading, and I could really enjoy. I started reading a book yesterday that I have been really excited about. I've mentioned this before, but does anyone else hesitate to start books because they feel like they'll love them so much and then they'll finish them and then that experience will be over? That is what I was having with this book, but I finally said, no, you bought it because it sounds great, it sounds perfect for this season, and let's give it a try. I am so glad that I did because I am loving it even more than I expected. The book is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the back cover says, it is a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. Again, guys, this is all the stuff that I love. I read over 100 pages yesterday. I am totally hooked. It's warm and uplifting, and I love found family, so I am so happy I started, and I actually had to stop myself from reading last night because I want to kind of stretch out the enjoyment for at least a few days if I can, but I am fully invested in this one. Other than that, I have a couple of nonfiction books. I'm part of the way through Atomic Habits, which has been wonderful, even though my copy is riddled with typos and pages that are stuck together. And I also picked up Intuitive Eating, which I'm pretty eager to read. I listened to Evelyn Tribole, the author, on a podcast, must have been a year or two ago, and I loved what she had to say. It really resonated with me. So I am really looking forward to getting through both of those. But right now, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches has all of my attention. In terms of planner news, I had pre-ordered the Take a Note from Paper Plus Cloth, and they are scheduled to ship sometime in October. So I am very curious to see those and have them in hand. I did order the A6 and the A5 size because I am not sure what size would be best for me. Honestly, my biggest worry is that A6 will be too small and A5 too big. I have also really been loving my Wonderland 222. Obviously, I like it and love it. I've been in it all year, but just flipping back through the pages and seeing how functional it's been for me and how fun and how consistent I've been makes me wonder if I really do want to switch systems. So it's October. I will see once I have the Take a Note planners in hand. The reason that I did order them is because in some ways, I feel like the columns on the Wonderland 222 feel a little bit constricting to me. They're not. Everything has fit, but I've been wondering if maybe having more space would just make me feel a little bit freer in it. But like I said, now I'm questioning and doubting what I want to do, so I won't be able to make that decision until I have it in hand. And I know myself, I can work within whatever system I choose. I am just eager and interested to see what that choice will be. I'm also feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of stationery stuff that I have accumulated since finding the planner community. There are just so many shops and options and styles that I feel like I've dabbled in a little bit of everything, and it has left me with a lot. I am getting better at selling things, passing them on in Happy Mail, taking them into the classroom, but it just feels a little bit heavy for me. So I'm trying to be really mindful of that and make sure that I'm more intentional with my purchases, and also that I'm kind of giving myself permission to let go. I definitely have the tendency to think, oh, but I've already bought it. What if I use it at some point? And that can be really, really like a trap for me. So I'm just working through that and trying to keep a curated collection, well, trying to kind of come down to a curated collection of items that I actively use, and knowing that there are people out there, whether it's in the classroom or planner friends, who can enjoy the things that just aren't working for me right now. So I don't know, that's where I'm at in terms of the amount of stuff that I have. And people have collections of various sizes that make them happy, whether it's, you know, a whole planner room. I love those tours, they're amazing, or a single drawer. So wherever you are, whatever makes you happy, I'm just feeling like I have a lot and I want to have less. So it's a work in progress. And to be honest and to be clear, I do still purchase new things. It's not like I have stopped purchasing because I have too much. I'm just trying to be much more intentional about my purchases and also much more active in the letting go. Okay, we are coming up on the end of the dashboard. I always like to find tiny stickers to fill in those spaces and just make it feel as complete as possible to me. Those little acorns from that Happy Planner book are perfect for that. While I tidy up here, if you guys are watching or reading or listening to anything lately that has been filling you up, please feel free to leave a recommendation in the comments. I love knowing what other people are enjoying and just having new content to look forward to. Now I've grabbed my Hobonichi and I'm just folding it back on itself to make as flat of a surface as possible. And I'm choosing a washi tape to tip it in with. That first one is from the Coffee Monsters Co., the second one from Audrey Okea, and the foiled leaves, which is the one that I've chosen, is from an Amazon set, I believe. It was a gift. So it's one of my favorite fall washi tapes though. I just love the colors and the foiling. I actually think I probably used that same tape last year in last year's Stationery Stockpile challenge. I don't mean to be, but I am a creature of habit. And oh, there we go. I had ripped the first piece too small, so I'll just save that for later. And getting ready to tip it in using Daksina's method of kind of folding it back over a ruler and getting it as close to the binding as possible. I'm not sure I actually try to get it super close this time because I cut my vellum, a little bit short, so I am leaving some space there. But there you have it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you're all doing well. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.